Cigar man, I'm a cigar man. Biggie, oh baby, you know I'm smoking. Cigar like a woman, round but not too firm. Even though it's smoking slow, fire'll get you burned. I'm a cigar man. Billy, oh honey, you know you got me smoking.
Times and you haven't hit the subscribe button, and a reminder, please do so in the bottom right hand corner of your screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn it, Bob.
No, this was Damn It, John.
Damn it, John!
Yeah, the soundboard works when the power is on.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
Well, when you plug it into the PC, there's a light on there that says PC, even though the board is off.
Oh,
so it's easy
okay.
to forget that it's not on.
Okay.
So, once again, welcome to Smoking Salads, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah, Bob, Dean, John, and
We're
Nick.
there.
So, we are smoking the Cromagnon tonight, and we're also pairing that with a Cooper's Craft on the whiskey. So, we started talking a little bit about, what's on the nose when you open it up out of a cellophane, and the cold draw. So,
For me, I got I don't know what kind of barn funk it was, but man, it was funky.
to me, it was like a leathery barn funk.
Maybe, but I mean,
deeper, richer.
Yeah, it had something. There was girth to that.
Girth in the.
There was girth.
in the.
And girth in the funk.
Y'all heard it,
Girth in the
folks.
funk.
Nick
was
got
girth in the
girth.
funk.
I kind of got like a kind of a decaying grass.
Decaying grass. So is that dead grass?
Yeah.
Is that like cow grass?
Moo?
Cow pie?
Cow pie. So
Cow
no,
pie?
but on the nose, I got a lot of that barn funk on the head, or on the tail. I got actually some coffee.
The
tail,
foot?
tail, other part of the body. Sorry. But I got a lot of, ironically, coffee notes.
Of course you did.
Of course I got coffee notes, but I mean, it was...
I did too.
Yeah, it was like a very rich roast. I can't make it specific like Dean does with chocolate, but...
Yep. So I mean, the smell is interesting. It's not your bright hay flavor. It's definitely something, you know, a deeper, robust, leathery, you know, girthy smell. What did you get on the nose?
Yeah, I got the same thing. I got it was a little bit like if so. Right now, this time of year, we have a lot of landscaping crews putting down bark dust and everything. And today, as we were walking through the parking lot after the rain, you would get a little whiff of the spice. I guess if you want to say a woody spiciness from the bark dust, with a little bit of that moldy from the rain and everything. And I got a little bit of that. I got that like a deeper mixture with a coffee or chocolate. Now on the foot, I smelled the foot, and you could really get like a spice characteristic, but it was influenced by that coffee and chocolate. But then I cut the head or the cap, and I smelled that, and I got more of like a hay essence on that end of the cigar.
So I see you got a
V
cut.
Two, yeah, I did a cross cut. I don't know if you guys can see, but I did a cross V cut on that.
So why don't you explain what that is?
So a V cut is it's a cutter that's got a metal V cut that cuts through the cigar. And so what I did on mine is I cut in one direction, and then I flipped the cigar 90 degrees, and I cut it on the other one, so you get a cross cut. Basically, it's what it is.
I know a lot of people do the cross cut for bigger ring gauge cigars, so it's an easier draw.
Yeah, sure. And I didn't cut as deep on this cigar, but what it does is it allows you to keep a lot of the cap, so that if you're doing a flat cut, sometimes you can cut a little bit too much of that cap
it starts
off,
to unravel.
and so it'll start to unravel a little bit. But so if you just do a little bit of a cross cut on there, it's like doing a flat cut. You can still get a good draw in from the cigar, but it also keeps a lot of the edges on that cap on there.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, for those of you that are somewhat beginners on your cigars, you take your cutter, your flat cutter.
Yep.
Open it up, stick it on the table.
Yep.
Stick your head of the cigar in there, and just cut it that way. That is a perfect cut. It will never overdo it.
Or you can go buy a flat cutter like this one that has a metal backing to it, and so it only takes like off like a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah. Now I don't like those as much. I'd rather do the cheating.
Yeah.
Because when you have like a torpedo end, you got to cut.
Well,
cut.
if I got a torpedo end, a torpedo end is like a TP, basically. And so when I got something like that, what I will do is I'll do a adjacent cut across that a little bit, and that way I'm keeping some of the cap on, but I'm able to cut a little bit deeper.
So you're saying the songwriters had it wrong? It's not damn the torpedoes, it's damn the TP?
Yeah, damn the TP. Exactly.
So the write-up that we have here is that the Roma Craft Cromagnon cigars were created by Skip Martin and Michael Rosales, who are two of the top blenders in the cigar industry. Now, as a new guy, I've never heard those names, so it's a nice introduction. How is it? Is it because of how popular Roma is that makes them top blenders, or?
They've been in the industry for a while.
Yeah.
They haven't worked just for Roma.
Okay.
So
I guarantee you those guys have probably worked for at least 3 different companies.
in the industry, their names are well known.
Okay.
For people who just sit back and enjoy a stick, they don't know, and many people kind of don't care. But if you really are kind of getting into it and want to learn the craft and what goes into it, then yes, those names do pop up.
So this country blend plays host to long leaf fillers from 3 Nicaraguan regions, Esteli, Condega, and Pueblo Nuevo. The last of which is a top priming Lajero that produces a unique and savory smoky flavor. Covered with a rustic Cameroon binder and capped with a rich Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper.
Rich, baby.
Rich.
This handmade
Rich
gem is a
Connecticut.
full-flavored, full-strength cigar.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of flavor
And
in it.
now you know the rest of the story.
And
No,
now you know.
jeez.
So, thanks for stopping before the taster notes.
Oh, absolutely.
I like to not cheat like we did last week and look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna flip the page over.
But definitely leathery. And I'm going to say it before you do. We all know you're going to get some coffee.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just like that cocoa / coffee kind of an essence to it.
Yep.
And I don't drink coffee, so I couldn't distinguish between a dark roast or this roast or that roast. But it's just a coffee-like essence, but it's closely, for me, associated with like some kind of a chocolatey kind of a flavor.
Okay.
Through the retro hill, I don't really get any spice or pepper, but there's definitely notes of some kind of wood, cedar maybe.
Yep, like a little cedary spice.
And maybe some kind of nut, maybe some toasted almonds or something.
I'm gonna pull one out of Dean's book here, and on the retro, I actually got toasted marshmallow.
Okay. Toasted marshmallow, folks. Bob, what's Bubbles getting?
I got a little bit of oak.
A little bit of oak.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit of oak.
I'm down about a 1/4 of an inch on mine, and the flavor profile is starting to change a little bit. I'm starting to get a little bit more of that hay essence or the grassy essence now on my retro hill.
Had to change the airflow.
Yeah, changing the airflow. Let's ask Bob. Who in the comments has talked about what they're smoking tonight, or drinking, or both?
Dave says he's smoking the Cromagnon, and he got it from his buddy Nick, and he's drinking Sazerac Rye.
Nice.
Sazerac,
Whoa.
okay.
Eric says he's smoking the Cromagnon, and he's drinking Coopers also.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Hey,
Nice.
Eric, make sure you let us know what you're getting.
Yeah,
as well.
text in what you're getting on the cigar as of right now. Not the
Eric
spirit
says
yet.
He's getting peanut brittle and green apples.
Green
Excellent,
apples, of
as
course.
well you should.
Granny
Yes,
Smith
yes.
apples.
And that should
I'll
be
tell us that was
every
refined
cigar
enough
you
to
smoke.
get those
I
flavors.
find
Yeah,
that
that should
funny,
be every
Eric,
cigar he
'cause
smokes.
I didn't get any peanut brittle.
So I had a conversation with David when he was over here the other night about checking out Sazerac for a rye. So Dave, you have to let the group know what you think about Sazerac as a rye. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's one of your
And
favorites.
it's one of the lowest cost ones on the market, but it's very spicy on the nose. It just has a lot of the rye flavors that I like. So,
Yep.
but we are not here to talk about
So,
Sazerac.
but the taster notes was rich in flavor with notes of leather. There is some pepper and oak with thick, billowing clouds of smoke, much like a campfire.
Much like it can. I'll have to try that
Like a
out when
campfire
I'm
with
camping.
marshmallows dropped in it.
Yeah, right.
We'll have to try these out maybe. See if we can get some when we go camping in a couple weeks.
Well, we got the wood, but I didn't call out the oak. Bob got
Yeah.
the oak, but it was woody something.
Good job, Bob.
Hey, but how about this? How about a big congratulations to Phil Mickelson for becoming the oldest player ever to win in the PGA this weekend? And that's all
So
I'm going to
first
say,
off,
folks.
It's not fishing and it's not football. So
Second out,
I was
who
watching a
cares?
football game this weekend too.
there it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
As well as softball and the Timbers won this weekend, and man, one guy got kicked out with a red card. Man, that was a horrible crash. He
Yeah.
ran right into one of our players.
Oh man,
The
that
guy
was.
ended up using a wheelchair to get off the
See,
field.
if there was more red cards in these sporting shows, I might watch it.
Yeah,
Much
well-
like old Canadian hockey.
Yeah,
You know, you went to a fight and a hockey game broke out.
sure.
That's what I don't want to watch.
Yeah. There you go.
So what are we pairing this cigar with?
Yes, let's talk
Good
about
question.
our spirit.
So the spirit we are pairing this cigar with is the Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve Kentucky Bourbon, distilled and bottled by the Brown-Forman Company of Kentucky. Since 1945, Brown-Forman Company is the only distiller to own a new barrel cooperage and raise their own barrels, allowing them complete control of the bourbon making process from start to finish. Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve is born from one-of-a-kind, chiseled and charred American white oak barrels. This expression is a complex Kentucky bourbon bottled at 100 proof.
Now the company's older than 19. The
You don't trust
company,
me?
No,
the company
I don't.
is actually older than the original company is actually older than 1944, though. It goes all the way back to the 1800s, I believe.
So what are you guys getting on the nose?
All right,
don't know
let's,
yet.
Oh, before we do that,
we got to do our cheers.
Oh, let's do our cheers.
Our smoking salads cheers. Cheers to you.
cheers
Oh,
to
we
you.
got a little splash.
Cheers to you, Bubbles. Oh, there we go. Right into the microphone.
Yes. All right, let's see what we get
All
on
right,
the
let's
nose.
get on the nose.
Caramel. right
Yeah,
off the bat.
caramel right off the bat. Now, it is, if you're drinking Coopers and it's 100 proof, if you're like me and you stick your nose right in the glass.
First, we got a swirly the girly. Gotta
Yeah,
make her a
I've
little
already
dizzy,
swirled
folks.
the
Gotta
girly.
make her a little dizzy.
Now I have a brandy snifter, and you have the Glencairn glass, and you have a wider,
A wider nose Glencairn.
So for me, the regular Glencairn glass, it doesn't give me enough on the nose. I mean, I have to stick your nose way in there. Now on higher proofs, there's a trick to it because you don't want to burn your nose hairs. So you have to breathe through your mouth and your nose at the same time. So when you're sticking your nose way in there, just breathe in both at the same time, and you'll be able to get all of your flavor factories to be engaged, right?
Ooh,
So
I'm getting
that's the
some
proper way
orange.
you smell any whiskey, but it's more important on the higher proof stuff because, yeah, it smells like burnt hair. Well, yeah.
It's because you burned your nose
and
hair.
you're like, wow, boy, that smells good. Yeah, but your eyes clear out.
Okay,
So-
I'm gonna make a prediction because
Okay.
haven't tasted the spirit yet, but I've been breathing in through my mouth and my nose. But then I took a puff of the cigar and did a retro hell, and I think this is going to be a very good pairing.
I'm excited.
I haven't even tasted it yet, and I think it's going to be
Yeah,
very
I mean
good.
on the nose, you definitely get the caramely,
Yep.
the toasted wood. You definitely get some nut. I get some kind of dark fruit on this thing. I can't pinpoint
Yeah.
it yet, but it's definitely going to be a really good blend with a cigar that's really kind of leathery and kind of.
I'm getting a little bit of orange, like an orange peel.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
On the nose. I get it more when I open my mouth a little bit and I'm breathing in through my mouth and my nose at the same time.
It's slight,
Yeah.
but it's
and
there.
you get a little bit of that, just like you say, just like that, a little bit of that caramel, and you also get a little bit of spice
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it, which is probably from the wood itself.
So on the nose, it's a fresh hewn oak with hints of smoke and char that are spiced with hints of cinnamon, leather, orchard, and citrus. Sweetened with a sprinkling of vanilla wafer crumbs.
Oh, damn, that's good. That, folks, this is
So-
about $30 a bottle, and if you haven't got it paid for any of this, you need to go out to a liquor store and grab you a bottle of this, because this stuff
But
is good.
better yet, you should call your local liquor store because that was the last bottle where I bought it.
Yes.
It goes quickly. For its price point, it's a
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, it's making some pretty big waves in the whiskey community right now. There are a lot of people that are really loving this stuff, and it really does grow on you. One of our members, Lee, actually brought over a bottle about a month ago or so, maybe a little bit further.
Yep.
And I had been hesitant, and I'm like, okay, maybe the label's just, they're putting out a good label because they want you to buy it, and it looks good, but it's going to be crap.
He brings over cheap whiskey all the time.
Yeah,
you know,
he
Macallan
does.
25. You know,
But we tried it, and we were all like, I'm going to need another glass of that. That's freaking good.
Yeah, it was surprisingly really good, and it's really good blending with this cigar.
Yeah, I was drinking this yesterday while watching Philly Boy do his thing
So I mean,
outside at the gazebo.
the flavors I get with the cigar pairing, you have like that leathery vanilla kind of flavor, and there's that it's kind of a vanilla wafer kind
There's
of
like
a
a-
finish.
So, the
So-
taste of the spirit is a caramel and cotton candy coat of
What?
apple, pear, and citrus with vanilla wafer and cinnamon.
Who wears a cotton candy coat, people? I
got
want
the
to
apple.
meet the person that wears a cotton candy
Well,
coat.
on a whole, I actually
Because I don't think their
on the-
coat's going to last too long, especially if they're around kids.
No, I didn't get anything overly sweet cotton candy.
No, actually, I don't. I get a lot
I
of
mean,
spice.
it's usually.
But
yeah.
ironically, I did get the apple after I let it sit.
Okay.
After I tasted it, let it air out, and then let it sit. I actually got a lot. I got a little bit of the apple on the aftertaste. What's
All right.
going on, Bob?
Go, Bubbles.
Well, if Nick would read that right, I believe it says caramel and cotton candy coat apple.
I can see a caramel apple.
You're asking the old man.
I got glasses,
a
old
caramel
man.
and caramel and cotton candy coat of apple.
Oh, yeah, see?
So
yeah.
yes.
That's what I read.
There you go. All right.
So
And then the
yeah,
finish is an assertive cinnamon spice, which softens to a lingering apple, which is what I got, and
Okay.
clean oak note.
I don't get the apple, but the lingering note for me is the spice and cinnamon.
You know, it takes a minute for that caramely apple to come through without
Yeah.
smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
If you just let it sit on your palate for
Okay.
a minute, then
I'm supposed to let this sit on my palate for a minute first?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
swallow?
Yep, let that meat of it sit on your tongue for a minute.
You can make the
For
meat.
Dean, maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Right. Until it softens.
You're not gargle?
Oh, he's gargling now.
But no, this is a good job on the pairing. This is a really good blend. Now we're getting really anal about the flavors, and that's part of what the show is. But if you're just a guy out there or a gal who just knows what you like and you like those kinds of flavors, then you will enjoy this.
I would like to say that this next puff is for our good friend Dan Numbers, who
Yep.
had a stroke last October. He got to go outside for his birthday a couple weeks
good.
ago.
Good.
And doctor said that he was showing more responsiveness than they had seen while he was there the entire time.
So he's got some more brain activity.
It seems like it.
I
but
tell you what, get him
but
out
Dan
more out in the
Numbers-
sun then.
Dan
Yeah.
Numbers loved Roma Craft, and
Yes.
he was the a little thing about Roma Craft is their bands are they have two bands. They have the thin black band, which is super easy to take off. Then they have the white band, which is nearly impossible without ripping it.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's a whole subject we could talk about. The bands and the cigars.
So
Those that are a pain in the butt to
Dan
take off.
Numbers was a pro on like taking off that white band. So Dan, this next puff is for you, buddy.
All right.
Maybe we ought to do a cigar therapy for the boy. Just all sit around blowing Cro-Magnon smoke at his face
Smoke at
outside.
it, yeah.
See if that,
Get him
see if that-
outside,
See if that
just-
wakes
yeah.
him up.
We're just gonna, and he's like,
I don't know if the doctors will like that too much on the hospital grounds, but
I know. If I'm ever in a coma, that's what I would like you guys to do. Just blow a bunch of cigar smoke
tell you
right
what-
in my face. Make sure I breathe it in.
Yep, and then I'll come out of you. Come out.
Then you'll come out of it.
I tell you what, for 100
Or I'll
proof,
choke on dying from breathing in the smoke. Either way, I'll be out of my misery.
for 100 proof bourbon or whiskey, this has got a surprisingly strong body
Yes.
to it. It really, and it stays, that cinnamon and that spice
Well,
and
none of
everything
us
stays on your palate for quite a bit.
have added water yet, so
Hell no.
it is 100 proof, but yet it doesn't drink like 100 proof.
No,
No,
it does
because-
not. It
because
drinks
it's-
more like
it's a-
88, 90.
Yeah, it's a richer bodied, it's a
Yeah.
fuller bodied malt whiskey, and yeah, just that brightness, which really peaks out when you have that extra proof.
Let's
in there.
let's see. Since Eric's is drinking the Coopers at his crib, let's see if he can text in and tell us the flavors that he's getting.
Yeah, Bob's. Is there anybody that have commented about what they're getting with the Cro-Magnon?
Not yet.
All right.
Yeah, give it time. They want to get halfway into it or so.
So I've
Sometimes the
added-
flavor changes.
I've added a little bit of smoke. Isn't that nice? Got swirly the girly. See if I can get a tornado going.
Yeah, I don't. With the heavier bodied whiskeys, I don't know how well the smoke blends in with that as they do with the lighter bodied ones. In my experience, it's always slight compared to something that you get where there's just a kind of a lighter body. So you tell me.
Tell you what, this does have some good legs on the glass, though. It's got some nice.
So it gives like it's more now of a roasted apple, like a caramelized apple,
Like a cotton caramelized apple.
not a cotton candy caramelized apple, just caramelized apple. When you add the smoke to the drink.
So regarding the body it takes a good 15, 20 seconds for those legs to even form.
Depending
So-
upon the glass.
Yeah, I mean this one, my legs,
Just now starting to form.
well, not yet.
Yeah, I see them.
I see a little.
There's
I
one
see 'em.
here.
I see about 5.
But yeah,
But yeah.
you can see a bunch of them starting to form right here, just right on the edge. So that's
Yeah.
usually a good indicator of the body of your spirit.
Yeah.
If it drops the legs pretty quickly, that's light. If it takes a second or two, it's medium. If it takes longer than 5-10 seconds, that's a full leg, full bodied spirit.
Pass the bottle, please.
All right.
So-
Yeah, I want to do some water. I'm going to do a cap full of water to see.
So
if
while
I-
you're doing that, Dean, we have a topic to discuss and see how this goes.
All right. Let's see how it goes.
So, I guess the U.S. Waiters have been trying to go more the European way. So the question is, if a waiter is now making minimum wage at a restaurant,
Yes.
should you still tip them?
My response, which is probably not going to be a very popular one, is when this whole topic came up, the waiters and waitresses wanted minimum wage. And that's the structure it is in Europe. And the waiters and waitresses in Europe, they don't accept tips because they're already getting paid minimum wage. Now, one of the reasons I waited tables and bartended for a number of years on my way through college. And you had to bust your butt to get some decent tips. Now, the tips, you got paid, when I went to school, I'm really dating myself now. When I went to school...
You need a cane?
Yeah.
Grandpa?
First, you had to get to college and run away from all the Tyrannosaurus Rexes out there that were ready to eat you, and it's hard to do when you're walking barefoot uphill both ways in the snow.
Uphill both ways.
So, yeah, you got paid. If minimum wage was $3.50, you got paid like $1.85, and the rest of it was made up on tips.
Yep.
And it was kind of a the restaurants benefited because obviously you're working for a lower wage. They could keep their food costs down, and if you did a great job, somebody would reward you by saying, okay, there's a tip. Now, it was generally understood at the time that your top tipping is around 15%, average is around 10%.
Right.
Okay. Over the years, as people started, the cost of living and waiting tables wages were kind of a little bit lopsided. They kind of upped it to 18-20%.
Right.
But on top of all this, now they're getting paid minimum wage. So for me, it's like, wait a minute. If you're getting paid minimum wage, that is the European model, why would I tip you? I'm not tipping you to do your job. I was tipping because you were getting paid under minimum wage and you did a good job. Now, it wasn't all the time that I paid 15-20%, but if you did a kick-ass job, I'm tipping you 20%, right? So now for me, when you go to a higher-end restaurant, like a Ruth Chris or a Gaucho or something like that, and not even Stanford's, something really high-end, you're going to pay a lot. I would tip them because they do a much better job at making sure that you're taken care of. You get your order wrong, there's no questions asked. Here, have another steak. So, but that's the restaurant. So I don't view those in the same category. So if I go to a Stanford's or I go to a Red Robin or something like that, you're already getting paid enough to make your minimum wage. So, yeah, unless you do an outstanding job, I'm not tipping because that's the European model. If you do just a beyond, you just all over it and just provide, an astounding amount of service. And I can't quantify what that might be. It's different every visit you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll tip, 10%.
Yeah.
But the European model is what people strove for because that was the argument just a few short years ago, 5 years ago. So now it seems like everybody wants a tip. You go to Burger King and you order a hamburger, there's a tip thing. It's like, what? No.
Pizza. Whatever.
Yeah, get a pizza. No,
There's a tip. Yeah, there's a
no,
tip
you're
line.
getting paid. And those people always got minimum wage, so they never got tips before.
Right.
I'm a big tipper, but I don't see the need to tip minimum wage waitresses and waiters at just the local restaurants. But I'm sure that's very unpopular, and I'm sure people who are watching the show are ready to punch me in the face. They might have, relatives, or maybe they work in the service industry. But yeah, there's a huge difference between when I grew up and you had to earn it versus now they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't. You can get crap service and then you're going to tip them on top of that? Nope. I'm not saying you always get crap service, but there's no recourse now. At least before you could say, I talked to you about this, and if you don't do something about it, then I'm going to leave you a lousy tip.
Right.
Now it's like, I want to talk to the manager, and the manager might give you a $5 gift card or something like that. And that doesn't make up for the fact that you spent an hour there eating something you didn't order or cold or whatever. So that's me. That's my opinion.
Dean, what about you? I did the
Got
waiter
him
thing.
mid-drink.
I did the waiter thing.
Yeah,
Got him mid-drink.
good.
Is that a tip? That's a tip, right? I get a tip, right?
Ooh, this is really
Here's
good.
a tip.
That's
Don't
your
be a
tip.
waiter.
Yeah, don't
Damn
tip
it.
your waiter. No, I would agree with John. I was a waiter too. And what did you say a good waiter made? Like 15%?
on
Because I
tips?
must have been really good, because I was 15 to 20%.
Well, you were waiting tables a few years after me, but that was the top, was
Yeah, it was
15%.
in the 90s and everything.
And sometimes you wouldn't even get that. I mean, there were people who lived above the restaurant that I worked at,
Yeah.
and it was an old folks community.
Yeah.
Two old ladies trying to set me up with their granddaughter.
Oh, I
And
remember this story.
They were, tipping me quarters. Hey, young man, you're so awesome. Have a quarter. And to them, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Because they grew up in an age
Yeah.
where a quarter was a big tip.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't complain. They were great. They were lovely women. But nobody wanted to wait on them because you would bust your butt and they wouldn't tip. So there's that. I know if I go into these restaurants regularly and I don't tip, I'm going to get even worse service than I do now.
Yeah, no, I remember one time we were eating at a really nice Mexican restaurant, and one of my best friends was going to leave even barely a 10% tip. It was like next to nothing, too, right? And I told him, I said, dude, how much do you think that person gets paid? Because he had never worked in the restaurant industry. He goes, oh, he gets paid minimum wage. And I'm like, no, they get paid half a minimum wage, dude. You better give that person, because she did a really good job, and she gave us our food on time. She asked us how our food was. She gave us, replenished our chips whenever they were getting low, and she filled our glasses without us ever asking her to refill our glasses. I said, dude, if you don't give her a 20% tip when we get outside, I'm going to punch you dead in your face.
And that's the thing. It's the
And
waiters,
that was the last time he gave a 10% tip.
the waiters and waitresses would get screwed sometimes, and sometimes it wasn't in their fault. It was the kitchen's fault.
Yeah, it could.
So
Yeah, it could be that.
they've removed that out of the
Yeah.
equation.
Yeah.
But to tip them on top of that, now they got, in the last 2 years, a $2 an hour raise. For the rest of us who don't earn minimum wage, we earn a regular salary. All right. Some people might earn $18 an hour. All right. Everything has gone up. Those people who earn the $18 an hour, they didn't get a raise. Everything went up on them.
Yeah.
Well, now your food costs just got more expensive.
And for taxes, as being tips, I do know this much in Texas, you only had to claim 10% of your total tips. And they were nice. I guarantee you, I was like triple digit money.
Oh, yeah. So
And I'm like, yep, I'm just going to do 10%, and then I'll pay the bus.
So for me, I'm pretty
and
anal
the
about it.
bartender and the kitchen staff.
And the argument's like, listen, if you don't want to pay the tip, then you go out to eat. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. I make better food at home. Sometimes I just want to get out of the house, especially during COVID. But when you get out of the house at COVID and you're paying damn near $100 on a meal that used to cost you $50, and then you want to tip on top of that, screw you.
Yeah.
Well, I just got a note from Ryan. He
Yeah.
said
I saw
when he was a waiter at Hooters, he made great tips.
No, you gave a small tip.
Or the non-existent tip.
Or did you get great tip? Just the tip.
But yeah, I mean, look, if they're going to fight for minimum wages, then I think we all need to start questioning whether or not we give them tips. Now, look, if I do go to whether it be a nice restaurant or even not a nice restaurant, just a regular restaurant, but if I get really good wait service, I'm sorry, I used to be a waiter. I used to know all the stuff that goes into it. I'm going to give you a tip. I will still give you a tip.
Now,
And I normally do 20% plus.
yeah. Now the hypocrisy is, bartenders have always gotten paid minimum wage plus. They make me a good
'cause
drink.
I was a bartender and I still got paid waiter wages.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got paid just above minimum
No,
wage.
there was not two, and there were times when I was doing waiting and bartending at the same time, and I know you did that as well.
Yeah. Well, you had different roles throughout the day, right? Breakfast, you're a waiter. Lunchtime, you're the bartender.
Let's
so-
see, Bubba looks like he wants to say something.
So Dave Babcock says that a certain fast food restaurant chain in Bend is paying $14 to $17 an hour with a $500 signing bonus.
Yeah, they're doing that now because they can't get it.
Can't
That
get
was
people
on
to
the
work.
news. That was on the radio today.
Oh, that's
They're talking
another.
about they were actually doing signing bonuses because they can't get anybody to
So
apply to
right,
that job.
right now, unemployment pays you more than the minimum
Exactly.
wage part-time job that you're beginning. So a lot of people are like,
Exactly.
"Why am I going to work then?"
Yep.
Well, you're going to work because you're on my payroll. When you're working off the government, you're on my payroll,
Yep.
and I have every right to complain about you not going to get a job.
So I saw a thing that was like a meme that was like even restaurants are getting desperate, and it was this drive-through window that had a picture that said, hey, parents, do you have a 15 or 16-year-old kid that is doing nothing but playing video games? Have them put an application in, and we'll hire them. I was like, wow, they're reaching.
Hey, my first job was at McDonald's. I have no problem saying that. I got zero problem saying that my very first job when I was 16 years old was at McDonald's. And I had fun. You know, and there are a lot of us that do that. But I learned a lot of stuff, and I had fun. I worked the counter and the kitchen.
There's been
And I also did the birthday parties. I was like one of the only dudes that did birthday parties, although I think I still scared kids.
There's been a general shift, and I don't know when it happened or even why it happened. Growing up, the jobs at KFC, Burger King, McDonald's, you know, they were high school jobs.
Yeah.
They're part-time high school jobs. You didn't work there and expect to make living wages. Meaning, let's go have a couple of kids. You know, you work at Burger King, I work at McDonald's. We both work there near full time. Let's go have a family, or let's go buy a house.
No,
that's never the intention. It was really intended for, you know,
it was
the first
spending
jobs.
money. It was spending money, having a job and having spending money.
Your first
buying
job.
comic books and sports cards and DVDs.
Entry-level
Or
job.
CDs, actually.
I don't know when that
Music
shifted,
CDs.
and it's unfortunate, but it is frustrating for me, and I don't want to bitch the entire show about, you know, my personal thing. What do you think about the whole tipping?
Me? So...
Because you kind of grew up in that era where this shift has changed.
Yeah. While I did grow up in the era that the shift has changed, I was raised by my grandmother. So a lot of the ideals and mentalities I have towards is 100% old school. My thing is that if I go to an actual restaurant, even if it's Red Robin or anything like that, if I have somebody who's giving me excellent service, I will tip them. It's usually about 10, maybe 15%. I don't go over. I don't usually do 20% unless it's a high-end restaurant and like they were on the ball. Do I think that we should tip if they have minimum wage? I would say it's a case-by-case basis because
we need to get Bob's kid in here because he's a waiter or manages wait staff or whatever. It'd be interesting to see the other side of the coin in the argument, because all three of us are kind of like, yeah, I'll tip, but should I?
Yeah, to be the devil's advocate in a sense, because we don't necessarily look. And it's like what I said. If I go to a restaurant, whether it be a good restaurant or a mediocre restaurant as far as price value for food, what have you, if I get really good service, I'm still going to give a tip.
Yeah.
I will still give a tip. But, you know, it better be good.
No,
but I tell you this much, because I was a waiter and you gave me shitty service, no. I wouldn't even give you a tip.
So
and I would tell the person, I'm like, I'm not giving you a tip, and this is why. And this is my recourse, because I used to have your job. And so you got no recourse to complain. Do a better job and care about what you're doing.
So that's kind of what I'm saying. Is like, listen, you got to wow me. You want a tip out of me? You're already getting paid to do your job, and you're getting paid minimum wage. So unless you really wow me, and I'm not saying you got to get under the table and blow me.
Yeah,
but
you
know,
I need more
when
whiskey.
I'm looking around looking for a waiter or waitress because my drink is empty for 5 minutes, and it takes you 10 minutes to get to me, no, I'm not giving you a tip to do your damn job.
Right.
I mean, I don't see you tipping me. Many of the products that come into the United States are because of the company I work for. I mean, the company I work for, we automate customs compliance.
Yeah.
Why don't you bastards tip me?
Exactly.
Give me money to come in and go visit you, and I'll share the love.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not getting tipped to do my job.
Like I'm an electrical...
The tip I get is my boss saying at review at the end of the year, work harder.
Yeah, like I'm an electrical designer. Do I get tips for that? For
kick in the butt. That's my
making
tip.
sure that when you turn your lights on, they come on? do I get a tip from the public for doing that? No.
No, you don't. My aunt, 10, 11 years ago, she would do this thing. I do not condone this, but my aunt would take $1 bills, put them face down, put them face up on the table. She wouldn't say anything, but if the waiter did a good job, or the waiter did something that she didn't have to ask for, she'd put another $1 bill.
I hated those people.
She would put down a $1 bill. If the person was giving an attitude, was wasn't giving great service, she'd just silently take $1 away, and then when she left, that whatever was left on the table, be it high or low, whatever was left on the table is the tip that you got.
I think if there was something different with the economy, where they needed to go this way, and that's the way it was, fine. That's the way it is. It's cost of living, it's inflation, whatever. But they meaning the restaurant industry, the service industry, the people, whether you're union or non-union, the people who worked in the industry, wanted to go to the European model. But now all of a sudden, they still want to be tipped. The cigar.
Yeah.
Is really,
so getting back to the
cigar
whiskey
is really
cigar.
good. So back to the topic at hand.
Well, okay, I will say this much. When I added a little bit of water to it, I do get more of the apple with the caramel.
Okay.
Yeah.
The adding a little bit of water to this, and it's probably knocking it down from 100 to like maybe 96.
Hey,
something
Eric,
like that.
what did you get with this pairing so far?
Yeah, let's ask Eric's what he's getting on this. He might have already written, but we went into our
diatribe on
our minimum wedgie.
Yep.
Wait, we got to pause.
We're waiting.
So Eric's is saying that he is getting from the Cromagnon his leather and oak, and he's starting to get spices as the cigar is progressing.
Okay.
So mine has remained
On
consistent.
the coffee or on the Coopers, he's getting apple and some vanilla
Of course.
and a little bit of oak.
What about any cinnamon? Eric, so you
And
getting?
cinnamon.
Oh, okay,
And
there
cinnamon.
we go. The cinnamon is fairly prominent, but it's more like
But it blends in right away with all the
what
other
kind
flavors.
of? It's almost like a red hot, not a spicy red hot, but that cinnamon flavor you used to get from the little red dots. Or
Cinnamon's like
little
your
cinnamon
standard,
candies.
like caramely, cinnamony.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
usually
it's a nice cinnamon. I
usually how you
really do
detect
like
whiskey.
both of these very well.
Hey, Eric, this is a question for you. Where in the tasting of the spirit are you getting the apple? I am getting it a lot when I let it sit, and I don't smoke anything. I just let it sit, and it's just in the back, and then it's
No, I get it right up as soon as it hits my palate. That's when I'm getting
I
it
get
right
it in
now.
the finish, like you.
You get the
I'm
apple
getting it
finish.
right up
Yep.
front
I
with the
swallow.
caramel.
Let it sit.
Yep, and then it's caramely, appley.
Yeah.
Yep. The right away on the tongue, it's that cinnamon and kind of a vanilla-y wafer
What do you say,
kind
Bob?
of flavor.
Eric says he's getting the apple on the finish.
On the finish.
See, and I'm getting it towards the front, mixed in with the caramel, but then that spice washes over my palate, and it's more like the wood spice and vanilla
Yeah.
caramel taking a main
But
stage.
and like you said many times, everyone's palate is different.
Yeah.
So like the fact that you got apple right up
He
front.
gets us in the
yeah,
front.
yeah,
he goes in the
everybody's
rear.
palate's different.
apparently.
But as far as the pairing go, if you folks are not smoking or drinking this tonight, I would suggest, especially if you have friends and stuff like that, get together and share this cigar and this particular spirit with it, because it's a really good one. It's not a unicorn, but it's very good.
No, this is
Very
a
good.
really good blend together,
Yeah,
and
very
the
good.
cigar itself, well chosen cigar. I was telling Nick earlier, we've been doing this for year and a half, and surprised that we did not do a Roma Craft cigar.
Or any Roma Craft.
Any
cigar.
Roma Craft, and especially not the Cromagnon, because we all love the Cromagnon.
Yeah.
It's got just wonderful flavors. Now, if you're a new cigar smoker, yeah, it might be a little bit too much for you. And I would say, get a smaller ring gauge, but that just makes it even more powerful.
Oh yeah.
But maybe enjoy it for a couple of puffs. Go back to your regular cigar. But that's something to look forward to when you're used to the levels of nicotine and everything else.
So a really quick plug about a different Roma cigar. I don't know if you guys have ever had it, but Roma has a cigar called the Sabertooth.
I might
my
have
gosh.
smoked it and not known.
That's
Ryan will probably chime in here about what he thinks of it, but
Yeah.
man, the Sabertooth cigar from Roma Craft is probably one of the smoothest sticks I've smoked from them.
Okay. Well, and here's what I would say about this cigar too. It's normally as far as I'm concerned, whenever I talk about like a full body cigar, it's with that Ligero. I'm not necessarily getting the Ligero here, like a little nasal burn. You do not get any nasal burn with this, and this is where I would kind of counteract John just a little bit
I'm
on
getting
a
pepper
new
now.
cigar smoker.
Yeah,
as
I'm
far
getting
as
the
a
pepper
new
now.
cigar smoker, I think this cigar, it would be a test for them.
Yes, it would.
But I don't think it would kick their butt.
Because we're used to the nicotine content.
Yeah.
That's
It's
my
a
concern.
full-bodied cigar.
It is,
It is
but
a
it's
full body.
also too. You got to realize too, it's got a ton of flavor. It's very full flavor.
Yeah.
And a lot of
It
people
can be a full
get
flavor and-
confused between full bodied and full flavor.
It's full flavor from the first puff to
Yep.
the first vomit.
So what
I'd, you know,
the other Roma Craft stick that is a full body, but I think it's a Corojo, a Petit Corojo or something like that. But it's called the
Probably.
Neanderthal.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a full body
Listen,
stick.
all of them
Yeah.
are very good sticks. You really can't go wrong. They've got significantly different flavor profiles. I think the Neanderthal is a full body, but it's more of a woody, creamy
Yes.
kind of a thing.
And it's not
But
nearly as it's not a Maduro.
Yeah,
wrapper.
but this is not a
not
full
as much
body.
like
This isn't a full
flavor
body
of
like
just-
a.
The flavor's just like punch you in the face. It's just like there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Right,
isn't
first
though.
puff.
This isn't a full body like a Pissed Off Christoph or Man of
man.
War Dark Horse or Rocket
Well,
Patrol Royal.
Those seem to have a lot more pepper characteristics.
Yes, they got a lot more. There's not hardly any pepper really.
lot more
If it is, it's
spice.
very subtle, more
Well,
like a white pepper.
So I retrohaled just a minute ago, and the pepper has picked up. It's not, beating you in the eyeballs, but it's the pepper has picked up. As the cigar is heated up with the tobacco, I do get some pepper.
I get it now. Yep.
Yeah,
I do
so
get that.
I mean, flavor
But,
characteristics.
I mean, I almost would say that the black pepper is like it's like a flavored black pepper. It's
no,
not-
it is.
yeah,
but you
it's-
also
it's
get that little
not-
burn through your nasal
yeah,
cavity.
it's not the primary flavor,
Right.
but it's there.
Yeah.
So
which I very much appreciate because there's a lot of Maduro wrap cigars where you do a retro and it's like instant. Oh God, my nose.
yeah. Now, if you're not retrohaling, that's fine too. It
What's up, Bob?
takes some while.
Okay, so Ryan is saying if you want a really good, strong Roma Craft, go to the Black Irish. And if you want a Roma Craft that's not as full-bodied, it's more of a medium, go with the Occutane.
The Occutane's another good one.
Yeah.
But it's a good line.
Ryan really
really
likes the cigars that are put out by this company too.
Oh man,
Yeah.
he is called the Roma Craft Whore for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like
Yes.
you are AJ for
it's Roma Craft Horror? I thought it was just horror.
Oh, like
Oh,
I'm an
just a
AJ
whore?
Fernandez whore? Yeah,
just
we
saying,
know
it's a
about
whore.
that.
No, dude.
you're a god.
You're AJ's
Oh,
bitch.
yeah.
Let's just be real. You are AJ's bitch.
I'm just gonna change the titles that are down here. I'm just gonna say AJ's bitch, John, Nick.
I appreciate that.
Whatever.
You don't have any titles down there.
Yeah.
Why don't we have any tags down there,
Yeah.
Bob?
Damn it, Bob.
Couldn't find it.
Damn it, Bob.
No
Damn it,
tags available right now. New technology, folks. We're working with new technology.
No, that's again. So for our software, there's a view that I can put that shows Bob exactly what he needs because there's lots of different scenes and you have to mix the music in and everything else, and they all have their own little scene. So I have it narrowed down to just Bob showing his face, and then our little taglines that are down here.
Okay,
So
okay.
I didn't do that. So he has to go dig for them, and the tagline's not easy to find.
So, damn it, John. Damn it, John.
Yeah.
Twice
sure.
tonight.
Damn it, John.
Twice.
Man,
Oh,
one
oh.
more time and you're out.
I know.
Okay, here's what I want to go with. And I know we haven't gotten good results on this in the past, but I still want to go with this.
Oh God, here we go.
If you're listening to us tonight, or if you're watching us later on after the show or anything, you can always write a message out to John or anything to Smoking Salads. But we would like some suggestions for some legitimate cigars and spirits that you would like for us
Sorry,
to review.
Ryan. Swisher Sweet is not an option.
Yeah. I'll take
No
suggestions from
white
anybody but Ryan
owls,
or
none
Eric.
of that stuff.
So apparently Skip Martin has joined us tonight.
Well,
Nice.
hello,
Martin.
Skip
Well, hello,
Martin.
Skip.
Skip.
So thanks for joining, Skip.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed the show.
Fantastic
And
stick.
now that we've
So
called
let's
them
start
out,
from the beginning.
right. So welcome to Smoking Salads.
Hey, we didn't even try that. That's
Yeah.
So yeah, now we'll just do that one in right there. So
There we go.
tonight, guest viewer is Skip Martin.
Yeah,
So
there we go.
everybody write a quick hello message to Skip.
Yes,
Is
say
he
hello
watching
to
via
Skip.
Facebook or YouTube?
Bob, is he watching Facebook or YouTube? Facebook. Okay.
Facebook.
He's on Facebook.
All right, you can always subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just look for the channel called Smoking Salads, and if you like the show, share
Yes,
the hell
please
out of
share.
it. So the more shares we get, the more viewership we get, and the more we can get people sending us some cigars to try. So we have to stop spending our money.
And the more, pretty soon we'll get enough viewers to where maybe we could bring out some swag.
So next week, I don't know the cigar that we're gonna do. We will be here for Memorial Day.
Yep.
And so
Yes.
if you've got nothing going on Memorial Day, watch the show. If you've got something going on, then you can watch the video afterwards. But
hopefully I'll be back from Yachats by
our
then.
yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully I'll catch some fish while I'm at Yachats. Maybe
So-
I'll let you guys know.
Good friend Jiffy Jeff introduced me to this low-cost spirit from Safeway.
Oh yes,
And
that was good.
Wait, what is it?
That oh yeah,
I
it's a
wasn't
good
gonna make
spirit.
him do
Oh
it.
yeah.
he wants everybody to kind of guess it, but
Well, we didn't say what it was.
yep. So, but I'm not going to tell you more than that. Well, I want to tell people more than that because they can go out and get it from Safeway and enjoy
Yeah.
it with the show
Well,
with us.
what we can do? Well, is that what you're doing next week?
Yes.
Then why don't we go ahead and tell them so they can get it?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. And Jeff's already slamming over there going, you're supposed to not tell anybody about it. Damn it. So-
Okay, but the week after next week, I will tell them we're going to be reviewing the Remus 2 repill.
Say that again?
The Remus 2 repill. I have it right here. Or is it the Redemption? No, the Remus Repill Reserve. It is, yeah, it doesn't say. But that's what we're going to be doing in 2 weeks. So we will be trying that in 2 weeks. I don't know what cigar we're going to do yet. I might have to sample some more of it.
Signature Reserve. Okay.
Signature
From
Reserve. Bring it a
Safeway.
little bit closer. Here, you want to pull my bottle up so they can see that? And it's got a picture of the guy, Mr. Remus himself. He was a bootlegger back in the 20s or 30s.
Probably 20s.
But I'll do a whole story on that. But the Remus repill is put out by MGP,
Now,
and I'll just leave it at that.
By the way,
Safeway.
I wanted to make a really quick shout out to Ryan. Ryan tagged Skip for us so that Skip could watch. So
Nice.
thanks, Ryan.
nice.
And Skip,
Thanks, Ryan.
I hope
Yeah.
you enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
So the Safeway Reserve, it's only available in Washington. You can't buy liquor at the Safeway stores in Oregon, but they are available in Washington. If you're outside of Washington and they have a Safeway type store, they have it there. So it is surprisingly, I mean, it's like $19.
yeah.
I mean, cheap.
Yeah.
For as whiskeys go, and we'll find out next week what we all think about it.
Also, I don't know if you know about it yet, but Costco has its own brand of bourbons that's coming out. And I'm not going to say who makes it yet because I can't remember. I totally forgot.
They have a bunch though.
But they
It's
do.
just
Yeah, but this is a
Kirkland
new one
brand.
that they're coming out that's supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to be pretty good.
Most of them are pretty good.
They do a single barrel, a small batch, and I can't remember the third one. It might be a rye, but I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
Don't quote me. I know they at least do a single barrel and they do a small batch.
So to end the show, your cigar. What do you think?
I absolutely love it. The flavor hasn't really changed. It's very consistent
Yes.
all the way through. Fantastic smoke. Like I would smoke this at any point in any day, all the time.
Yeah, I would say the same.
And it's a great price point too.
Look,
This
if
is
I
not an
gave this,
expensive stick.
if I gave this to Nick for his wedding on his at his reception, to have with the beer that hopefully I'm going to be making well.
You bet your ass I'll be smoking that.
Yeah, we need to
Well-
do that within the next month or so.
It's funny that you said that because I bought a box of these for Nick for his wedding.
Yeah,
But I
so
smoked-
if
I
we,
smoked
but if
them
we
already.
Smoke them all, and we can just give you.
But
some
Sorry.
that's
ideas.
no, but that's understandable.
But I got a
Yeah.
nice replacement Swisher Sweet set for you.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect. I'm so excited.
All right, so with that is our review of the Roma Craft Cromagnon
And Cooper's
in the
Craft.
Cooper's Craft. So everybody out there, enjoy
Smoking salads.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Oh, that was horrible. There we go. Oh, good pairing. Really good pairing. I really like this.
Yeah, me too. I just.
I'm a cigar man. I'm a cigar man. Biggie, oh baby, you know I'm smoking.